Good evening,
Hey.
and welcome back to the Red 5 Taverns, the Accursed Queen of the Iron Bridge. And tonight we are playing Chapter 3, The Mist Run. As the heroes begin their first day on the trail to Tar Island, they must cross the mostly open terrain of Mist Run and somehow go unnoticed. And before we get into introducing everybody, let's just take a moment to appreciate the fact that our Red 5 Tavern intro likely has a wyvern in it. And that's probably a wyvern flying across it. So not saying this, saying.
Not saying it's dragons, but
In my world, they're wyverns. All right. And tonight we have the pleasure of playing with a Ditari, being played by Miss Kelly. And we've got Grist being played by DB. We've got Gibble being played by none other than Spencer. And we've got then Steve playing Draymond. So how are you guys doing tonight?
Doing well.
TGIF, man. I love game night.
Awesome. All right. So we're going to do a little bit something different tonight. We're going to give a little bit of a presentation here just to give a setting to where we are right now. So I'm going to share my screen. I'll do a few clicks, a little bit of magic here and that, bippity boppity boo.
Woohoo.
And this is the map that we're going to be working with. We'll be updating it. Well, I'll be updating it as we go along. And just to give everyone sort of a situation, we've got the upper right-hand corner. We've got the Castle Iron Bridge, and where you guys likely came into the adventure up there through the High Winds Pass and yada 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 and all that stuff. We saw the big wyvern attack. And you guys made your first run down out of this castle, out of this sort of terrain out of the castle into Windsor's Teeth, which is those little bumps there. And you can see my somewhat legible handwriting. I really, really tried to make it legible. But that's where we are right now in Windsor's Teeth. And as Make said at the end of last episode, we're trying to get to that sort of patch of forest there over in the little left-hand corner where the Mist River meets the High River and the High River Pass. So that's what we're playing tonight. And so we're going to begin tonight's adventure with that setting. So we had, at the end of last adventure, we were sitting in that sort of protected area and the stones and the sort of little enclave, little sort of protected area where we could all sit in, have a little fire. And as the embers from that small fire begin to fade, the group settles in for the night inside of Windsor's Teeth. And Make sort of pops over. He goes, look, we're looking to do some volunteers perhaps for the watch tonight. I'm more than happy to take the first watch. Would anybody else like to join in and keep an eye out the rest of the group while we sleep? And he's looking, if you look over, so there's this sort of little alcove of stone protected areas and everything. And there's a clear area that's the opening, as it were. And that's sort of where you'd be positioned, or at least a little bit outside that stone. So that's sort of like the entrance to this little area that you guys are sleeping in.
Mm-hmm. Datari raises her hand and says, I'll volunteer for first watch. And she's looking down at Draymond because she remembers when the wyvern was flying around that Draymond was raiding the carts and she doesn't trust him.
Am I even there?
Of course you are.
Okay.
You're there. Yeah. So just for the watchers at home, we're switching out characters and players every week because we all have lives and we all have wanting to play. So we swap players out. And so the assumption is that as we go along, every player that you've met so far in the game and some other ones you haven't met yet are all with the group. It's a little bit of a different approach because, well, if they're there, why aren't they playing? Why aren't they fighting? Well, we're just trying to make it easy for adulting to be able to fit in some D&D. And as long as each character and player who's playing that night watches the previous episodes and is caught up on the story, they can slide right in as if no time has passed. And so it just makes it more fun, more engaging for everybody, and allows everyone to give it a chance to play. And so that's a little bit, like I said, a little bit of a different way. So it's like sort of parachuting these players in at different parts of the chapter. It just wouldn't happen. So yeah, so we're a little DM magic we're waving there.
Gotcha.
Magic. Already on way.
sorceress. I can very easily do that.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so Make will take the first watch, and then Datari will take second. Anybody else? Or you guys are just sort of hanging out and leaving the whole thing to them?
I'll volunteer for watch.
Okay.
Split it up.
All right. So you guys are settling in, and Make is sort of shifting over to the entrance, making sure everything's good. And you guys are unrolling your rolls and getting sort of comfy and so it's just very quiet, very calm. And then suddenly,
Run!
Make screams from the exit.
Run now! Don't look back! Run!
You all sprint out of the cave, following him across the side of the hill, barely staying on 2 feet. You sense the wyvern at your backs, heading towards the far-off forest line. That roar is right behind you, Gibble, and you feel the backdraft of wind pulling you back into its claw. And as it has you in its grip, you lift off the ground as your party continues to sprint as fast as they can, and you look across the other claw and you see Layara Bristwind, and she looks at you with an evil smile.
It got Gibble!
So, Gibble, you literally stand up out of your pack. You can't believe what you just saw in your head. And you realize, you look around, and it's probably been 2-3 hours since you put your head down. Everyone else is sleeping on their rolls. And then you look scanning the whole area like you're shaking, panting. Like, what the hell was that? And you scan the room and you're looking, and then you look over at Make, who's looking back at you and says, "You okay?"
No. There's dragon was getting me. I just don't know what to do here. I just it felt so real. And
Dragon, where? Where? There's no dragons here. I've been on watch the whole time. There hasn't been a dragon. There hasn't been anything happening tonight. What are you talking about? Did you have a dream?
We were all running, and then the dragon picked me up. Of course, she picks the goblin, rhesus dragon. But anyway,
it's a fair point. How would you fit in the claw? But okay. So the rest of you start hearing this. You hear this commotion, like Gibble's just back and forth with Make. And you're all sort of starting to rouse. You guys were nicely sleeping, but you're hearing all this going back and forth. And then so Make says to Gibble, he says, where? Was it here? Was it somewhere else? Where was this?
I didn't quite get a good idea of it as far as where it was. It just seemed like it was all us, though.
Huh. That is a very important dream. Someone spoke to you with this dream. You need to think about this dream and pull and understand from it, because these types of dreams are more like visions and portend to the future, perhaps. You are very fortunate, although you're not sleeping, so you're not fortunate, but good for you.
It balances out.
I'm going to walk up to Gibble and say, what I think Make is trying to say is, maybe you have a special power of some sort, or has this ever happened to you before?
No. Listen, I'm just a little goblin that goes around and tries to fight as much as I can in the arenas, okay? This is a little bit different for me, but I may have been promised something that I'm not sure if it's happening here or not. But no, I just live a simple life. Well, somewhat simple.
I'm going to look over to Make and say, I think she picked the simplest minded guy to put a vision in his head.
Racist.
I'm not racist,
Racist.
Gibble.
So now, okay, so he hasn't said anything about a she yet. So I want to be very specific about the way he breaks this down. So so he said a dragon picked him up and it's been around here. So and this is how you want to play it, Gibble. This is totally up to you. But
Yeah.
so yeah, just sort of recontextualize that, Datari. How do you want to approach that?
Gibble, was there anything else in this dream besides the dragon?
I vaguely remember seeing somebody else there. I don't remember exactly who, but there's another individual there. Looked over, smiled at me. Yeah.
Do you remember if it was male, female, another goblin, elf?
Was it yourself?
an-
Nick says. Was it you? That could be very deep and meaningful. Was it you in what you saw?
No. I wouldn't. It wasn't me. I wouldn't do that to myself. It was some other lady. I don't know. I don't know who though.
Lady.
Hmm.
All right. All right. Was she human?
I don't remember. I just remember as another lady of sorts.
Do you love your mother, Gibble?
What does that have to do with anything?
It's a relevant question. I mean, we need to discuss this. As I've said, dreams can be like portents of the future, and learning where these things come from. I would delve into this for hours if I could, but you all need sleep. I'm not quite sure why you're awake.
It's a complicated history.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay. Well, I'm already awake. Do you want me to take second watch?
I'm good for another hour. If you want to just close your eyes and relax, I'll wake you in about an hour, and then
Okay.
after that, Grist will take over.
All right. I go back to my my sleeping bag, I guess.
Clearly, Draymond is just completely sleeping away.
I was awake. I
Yes,
was
he is
listening, but I
oblivious.
didn't jump into the conversation. I think I kind of caught wind of what he was saying.
Cool.
Little
Okay.
guy's breaking out again.
Again. All right. So, Tara, you sort of drift off into a light sleep, and then what seems to you just like instantaneously, you feel a sort of gentle like rustle on your shoulder, and he says, "It's time to switch. I appreciate your help with this. It's not always easy doing the watch alone."
No problem, Make. I'm ready. I put on a pot of coffee.
Okay. And then Make goes over to his role and starts sort of doing his own thing. And the embers, he kept actually low embers, so they're actually quite hot, but low smoke and low light. So it was that's actually perfect for making coffee.
Yeah. I put on my pot. I'm going to kind of look at everybody to make sure that they are where they're supposed to be and that they are sleeping. Draymond.
All right. Everyone seems to be in the right spot. You doing a cabin check at the camp for the summer?
Yeah.
Any raids?
We're missing one.
It's Torga. She doesn't sleep with the rest of us. She sleeps over there. She farts a lot, all that beer.
Very bloated. She's proud. All right. So, everyone seems in place, and mostly everyone's asleep, basically. Gibble, what are you up to? I mean, you had a pretty traumatic vision there. Are you just sort of trying to calm yourself down? What are you up to?
Yeah, I'd imagine Gibble's going to like lie back down, but I don't think he's going to be able to get back to sleep at all after that very traumatic experience.
Okay. All right.
I look over at Gibble. I notice he's still tossing around. So I go over and I do a cantrip, minor illusion, and he hears what's comforting to Gibble.
What's comforting to Gibble?
The grinding of an axe.
The grinding of it out. The most comforting thing to Gibble. Probably like some sort of like good smelling food, I guess. They could always do with a nice meal. Always helps.
Okay. I make a cantrip illusion of sausages right above his head.
Okay, I'm gonna take a pause, everybody. I'm just gonna get some sausages. I'll be right back.
So Gibble notices this. He goes, "Oh, sausages. Where did these come from? I'm usually a meat lover, but I really don't like these. They're not my thing."
What is your thing, Gibble? I just wanted to help you have good dreams.
I don't know. Could you?
Do you eat rats?
Rats? No. How about
I knew somebody once who ate rats.
How about like a nice big like steak as big as my head?
Okay. I end the illusion of sausages and I make this gigantic steak over top of Gibble. That is the size of his blanket, so he could fall asleep with sweet dreams.
Nice.
And
Okay.
I go back to my post.
All right. So, Gibble, you're covered with like a steak snuggie. You feel, and Datari, with your fresh cup of coffee, you position yourself to the exit. And so it's very interesting because what you see when you get there, the night is very clear, and some mist clouds in the far off in the valley, and you don't hear anything. You hear some sounds, that kind of stuff, and you see the terrain that you're going to have to cover tomorrow. It's got this sort of very 30% 30% grade on it, and you're going to have to move fast, but it actually prepares you for what you're actually going to have to run for tomorrow. So you're able to hang out there for several hours. Nothing goes on, and it's actually time for Grist's turn.
Okay. I look up. Is there a moon tonight?
There is. It's a waxing gibbous.
Okay. I look up. I say a quick thank you to my goddess, Sahanine Moonboat, and thank her for keeping us safe, for keeping my shift, uneventful, and bow my head, and I walk over to Grist and just tap him on the shoulder. I don't know how he's going to react, so
I'm already awake. I let you come in closer so I can say, "Hi."
I jump. Sorry, I thought you were sleeping.
No. I've were there sausages cooking?
Gibble, that poor little guy was
I thought I
having
smelled that too.
he was having some problems sleeping, so I just did a minor illusion for him to have some sweet dreams.
That would
Keep
be
an
fun.
eye on him. He's very restless tonight. He's really spooked.
All right, I'm going to keep an eye out for those sausages too. I'll let you know if I find it.
And hooking up with that meat blanket, can't you?
Is he sleeping in the old 96er?
Grizzle and all. I'm just gonna lay down. I probably
Yeah,
won't
go to the
sleep. Yell if
opening.
you need me.
To our little enclave, and
shout out to Miss Kelly and Aaron and several other people who during season 1 delve into the lore of the moon. So the waxing gibbous was never in my vocabulary until about 6 months ago. So I would have just said like 3/4 eaten moon pie. That's what it looks like.
So proud of you.
I tried.
So proud.
All right. So Grist, you are at the opening. Do you have any like dark vision?
Yeah.
What's okay?
60 feet of dark vision.
Okay. You get the sense that you see some creatures definitely, and quite far away from where you are stationed right now. There's sort of like this depression in the slope. You can tell there's a little bit of a change, excuse me, in the terrain. It's still that 30-degree angle, but there's looks like some rocky formations far off, and you see some small creatures like whether they're field mice, whatever, and you can clearly see them leaving this sort of rocky area that's a little bit further on, almost like the midway point between where you guys are now and that sort of far off forest line that you guys are going to be
Okay.
you're going to be sort of making a run for in the morning. So I mean, nothing really nothing happens. It's just something you pick up on. It was like a little something that you noted through your watch.
Small
Yeah.
creatures.
Small living creatures, yeah, scurrying away from like an area that you guys are looking at. And as you're sitting there, Make walks up and sort of says, "So the watch is good."
Yeah, not nothing out of the ordinary except I don't know how far you can see down towards the forest down there, but seemed to be a small exodus of little the mice and such. Seemed rather odd. They seem to avoid that area tonight.
You can see the forest.
Not quite the forest, but I can see down into the grade a little bit, and some shadowy figures, small creatures.
Well, you, my friend, are much more talented than I. I cannot see. I can only learn from you, perhaps, and from the woodland creatures, and I appreciate that. But my sight can only go as far as these crude matters in my head allow, not like your magical orbits in your skull. Sorry, is it okay if I call them your orbits in your skull?
It's an odd way of saying it, but sure.
Okay, I appreciate that.
But
Dude, go ahead. So you're saying these now? It's interesting you say that because tomorrow, well, actually an hour or two before we wake, we are going to be making a run for this depression area. There's some rocks and there are some. There's a depression in the side of the mountain that's going to be sort of our halfway point to the forest, and we're going to have to figure out some way to get there without being noticed because there will more than likely be some wyverns playing around. And yeah. So you said that there's some creatures stirring about?
yeah, it seems so. And now any of those creatures coming towards us, maybe.
No, they're just like scurrying about. They look very small. Yeah. So what do you see with these magical eyes you have?
Nothing magical. Just what you would see during the day, or as I would say at dusk.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, nice, very nice. Yes. Well, we hopefully in a few hours we'll be heading towards there, and the fact that they're leaving now is a good portent for the future.
Good, you say? Okay. And you said wyverns in the area. They know.
Well, yeah. Well, since the fall of the protective dome from Queen Laramie, these will be much more frequent, unfortunately. And I anticipate a wyvern in the morning, just like a couple of days ago that I missed. And that's going to be increased time, and so we must be vigilant in trying to get across this run because it's, as you can see, much better than I at this point. That there's not much cover.
Well, we wonder where wyverns went while we wander, and wonder which way.
Tatari comes up behind you and says, "Why do you speak like that?"
Words are fun.
Words are knowledge as well.
See, this guy gets it.
It is said that the Tar Island, where the Wyvern called their home and their lair, were not able to see the Iron Castle area because of this protection dome that Queen Laramie was able to project from her throne. And it's as if the Wyvern went south and just the other side turned south and went down. And then when this affliction came about, that suddenly was a new land for them to play with. And that's why they're suddenly here, because these are lands they've not seen for hundreds of years. These are lands they've not explored and lands they've not destroyed.
Yet, I guess that's what we're looking to stop, is the yet part.
Correct. Well said. Well, not really. It's not yet. It's not. We're not going to let them do this. So you're a bit wrong there, but that works as well. So he turns around and walks back to his pack and starts rolling things up. And you see now that the dawn is just starting to crest over the other side of the opposite side of the valley. It's starting to get lighter over there.
I'm just going to say to Datari, did you notice anything while you were watching? Anything strange? The smallest of things. Did you notice anything?
I did not. It was completely calm. I'd keep an eye on that elf over there, though.
It's
What
it's
did I
funny
do?
how creatures look to the elves as treacherous and as bad folk.
It's not true. Not with me, anyway. I know what it looks like, but that elf over there,
But
he's not what he appears to be. As the village fair was getting torn up by the last wyvern, this guy over there was stealing from everybody's carts. So
That is preposterous.
now you're kind
I
of far.
would never.
You can tell. So Draymond, you're hearing. So you sort of were sort of half awake, and you see Make coming back into sort of the enclave of the stones and getting to his own pack, and you see Datari and Grist out sort of by the opening talking, and you do notice that she does look back at you at one point, but you can't tell what they're saying, and but you get the sense for sure that you may be the topic of discussion.
mhm. So as you can see, I have a reason not to trust that guy.
Okay, I believe you. I have really nothing to steal other than the tools of my trades and that of hunting. That's why this adventure's here. The thought of having more than just what I can carry, even for a day, is a good thought to me. So I'll keep my eye on him.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
And Gibble, you're laying in your you are like having the best dreams. You got the biggest smile you feel you've ever had, and it's actually glowing within this little protected area. Everyone can see you're just having the best dreams and sleep as you probably had in days, if not weeks.
Giant pile of drool.
Yeah, your pillow is soaking, but that's beside the point.
I look over at Gibble to see if he's awake yet.
Yeah, so everyone's sort of rustling up, and Make is sort of gently waking everybody up, the shoulders to sort of get everyone going because we're early dawn and we need to get moving. So he's waking everybody up.
I'm awake again. You know, is it possible to have like a dream inside a dream? I mean, I just had some wild stuff happen. You know, I had the crazy nightmare, and then I got like a big steak blanket, and then I had the most amazing dream. So I don't know what happened.
So Meg stops. He goes, "You had a meat blanket? This is
Yeah.
interesting. Please explain."
Gibble, hun, that wasn't a dream. I made that for you, remember?
Wait, you're like a meat person. You can craft meats. You can do whatever you want with meats.
I'm a sorceress. I know most of my kind are warlocks. My whole family's warlocks, but I'm actually a sorceress and I can do little illusions. It's not a real steak, Gibble. It's just an illusion. And just like that, it's gone. I yank it.
And
Absolutely amazing.
Make puts his hand on your shoulder and gives you probably the most genuine thank you smile that you've seen from him at all, and just walks away.
I just nod. I'm still trying to figure make out. Make out. Oh man.
So Make sort of resumes the embers that were sort of kept a little bit warm, and he makes a little bit of a fire, and he says, "We're going to make a quick breakfast before we go. If you have your own rations, and if you don't want to wait for some small meal, by all means, get ready for it. But we have a trek to do this morning, so energy will be needed. So please make sure you've eaten something."
I take some oatmeal. I make some oatmeal and consume that with my coffee.
Okay. Actually, Make is making some. Make is making.
Yeah.
Make cooks some eggs and some bacon. So that's cooking here. And you know, there's enough for a few people if you want. But what are you up to, Grist? What are you doing?
I've got some of that bear meat I kind of threw on the grill, and I'm gonna make some small steaks, especially for Gibble, knowing that he's been fooled all
Nice.
night with the steak wrap. And, if I was covered in a steak wrap all night, I would really want a steak for breakfast. So
Now available at Taco Bell.
she's a witch. I hate her.
And Draymond, what are you doing?
Well, I'm awake and I'm just wandering around the camp and chewing on some jerky.
Very cool. Very cool. And as Make sees you cooking the bear, he slaps your back and he says, "This is what nature was built for. Life, death, and renewal. Well done." And that looks like a fantastic steak.
Oh, there'll be plenty for all of us. Might as well eat it while we've got it, and
Right.
we've got a minute. And absolutely, I can't agree more. I mean, waste nothing. We use everything. Nature has given us everything we need, and we respect that.
Well, I
Plus,
hate
it's good.
red meat.
It's
I hope you
delicious.
enjoy it. I like white meat, so I don't want any of it, but enjoy.
Oh.
So as you guys eat breakfast, you sort of, you know, prepare your errands, you pack up your stuff, and you roll your packs and get ready for the run coming up. And so Make calls you out to the front of the opening and says, "I'd like to show you all where we're going." And so what you guys see is our second presentation of the night, if I don't screw it up. So this is what you guys see as the opening. So as you can see in the foreground, there's some, obviously, that very treacherous area there. And then you see some stonework and some trench areas. And then far off behind that, you see some forest line that's over that sort of not rise, but like the horizon of the mountain.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, you also see a wyvern flying in the background there. And also to note, way further back from that is actually Tar Island. Actually, that's your final destination, and you see yet another wyvern flying around Tar Island. And proportionally speaking, that doesn't look very helpful. You might see also to the left of that castle, you see a little tuft of forest. That's actually where you guys will be taking the iron bridge actually over to to the Tar Island. Not that you can see it because right now it's covered in mist and stuff like that. But yeah, so the area right here in front of you is going to be what we're going to try and do today. So that's what you guys see when you get to the opening. And he's like, so we literally have a wyvern flying right now, and you guys look and you see that wyvern that we just showed you in that image, flying just over that forest. Now it's not completely; it doesn't even know that you guys are there. It's just flying about. And it says, we need to get to that forest line. We've got that trench that we can try and make and try and get in there, and then make a sprint for the forest line. I would love to hear what you guys would think how we can get there with least amount of casualties or not going noticed.
First, I would, before I say anything, I would like to cast another cantrip. It's prestidigitation. And I am going to create a little sensory effect of soft musical notes that maybe the DM can help me with.
Sure.
Yes.
Does that work?
I'm going to respond to Make now and say, well, can we walk?
I don't think we can walk. I think we need to run. We can't run in a group. We need to seem like creatures scurrying along the side of the mountain that seem inconsequential, seem uninteresting, and seem to not attract the attention of the wyverns.
Well, I can catapult you guys, but it might hurt a little bit, you know?
What?
He says, if we
I'm a
need,
sorcerer. I can catapult you guys, but it'll probably hurt you guys.
we need to get to the trench.
Could throw the goblin.
Hey! Listen, I mean, I'll admit that sounds fun. I just don't know if I like the part where I go splat.
It's not the flying; it's the sudden stop at the end.
Indeed.
Can you guys charm the wyvern? We can catch a ride.
Well, he's far off for that. Definitely flying over and you would say that from his flight pattern, he's over the forest, but he's not looking on the side of the mountain. It's as if it's flying, making its sort of meandering way up to the Castle Iron Bridge. But you guys will be literally crossing in his path, as it were.
Do any of you guys know how to call wild horses? I know elves can do it sometimes, but...
Oh, you're muted there, Draymond, if you're talking.
I do have animal handling.
do a perception check here, and as far as do we see anything? I guess that would help hide us running across this mountainside.
No, not until that trench area. It's going to be a pretty exposed run to that trench area.
I suppose. Let me see if I have any invisibility spells.
So we build a giant badger. Me, Draymond, and Gibble get in it.
Great idea.
Oh man.
All
Make
right.
has perhaps if we run to the trench in a small group, maybe 2 by 2s, and leave in intervals and run and get there, and then the next one takes off a few minutes after, perhaps.
Wait, so can I see? Do we actively see the area that we need to go across? Right?
Absolutely, yes, you do. Yep.
Would this area look familiar from my dream?
It looks identical to what you saw in your dream. You see the angle, you see the trench, you see the forest line that they were all running towards, and you never made it to the trench, but when you were pulling up from that backdraft and you were flying up, you saw them all sort of like jumping into the trench area as a form of protection, as a form of like respite, but also like a place where they could take a rest before making their run towards the forest line.
All right, so Gibble's gonna go up to Datari and go, "This place, I promise you, this place was from my dream. Right here."
Make turns around.
Really?
That is powerful. You saw a vision of the future.
This is the place where my dream told me I'd die.
That is
Or-
unfortunate.
Or hear me out. He could be insane. He is a goblin.
I don't think he's insane. He was genuinely very scared last night.
Okay. I see.
Okay,
Who were you running with, Gibble?
I don't remember. I was just with others while running, and given I'm the short one, I was the one lagging behind and got picked up by the dragon.
That's why I just showed legs in the graphic. That's all he saw.
Fair enough.
guys, I think we have to be on high alert and protect the goblin at all costs.
Or don't run with the goblin. There's clearly two options here. However, I wouldn't choose that option. If you want me to go with you, Gibble, I volunteer to go with you.
I don't know about the best runner I am, but I mean, there's obviously a reason why I was lagging behind in my dream. I mean, you know, these little legs of mine can only run so fast. Especially if
What
all
is
the
your
stuff
movement,
happens.
actually? What's your movement, Gibble?
I'm regular 30 feet walking.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, all right. All right, so those little legs move.
Go fast.
It's like Pat. He moves he moves fast. Yeah, that's good.
It all worked out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, all right.
Well, we're wasting time trying to figure out who can make us invisible and who can call the horses. So we can be walking as we're discussing this.
True. True.
So,
Well, we split up. Maybe Gibble goes first. We break the dream right off the bat.
Okay.
Oh,
I am in
Really think
favor of
Gibble
this
should
idea.
go first?
Gibble wants to go first?
Gibble's
Okay.
good with going first.
All right. Sounds great.
Comfort him.
I volunteer to go with Gibble.
So you guys go together. All right. So you guys look back at the rest of the group, and you guys say, all right, we're going to head towards the trench, and we'll meet you there. Next group, take off in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
You guys head off and start running across the terrain.
We're running.
So you're running towards that trench. So who's next? So you guys got Make, we've got Tatari, we've got Draymond, and you see Grist and Gibble booking it towards that trench. And you guys are almost like silently counting in your heads where that would be. You're trying to give yourselves that timing of when do we leave? When do we not calculate that we're looking like a larger creature versus just little specks on that side of the mountain?
Well, so where are these horses?
There's no horses.
There's no horse.
There's no horses.
Talking out of her ass.
See,
Just saying. So you guys, okay, go ahead.
I'm not going to have that elf going behind me. I will go behind him.
Okay. So Make looks back at Draymond. You ready to go and run?
yeah, let's see how far we can get.
All right. So on my count, 5, 4, 3, go! And he takes off.
Okay, and before I take off, I look back at the tiefling, just kind of eyeball her.
Watching you.
So you guys are now sprinting, and now you guys are starting to cover some area. And Tatari, you're at the end of the train, and you see that space between Riss and Gibble, and now Make and Draymond, and you're just sort of looking and looking and looking, and up comes your time, and you head out.
They start sprinting.
You start sprinting. So you're all running at different paces. Yes, Chris?
We're all running.
You're all running at different intervals. And you guys are keeping an eye on that wyvern that's flying towards, over the forest. And you pretty much are, at least at this point, solid in the thought that you've avoided its interest because you're just these little specks on the side of the mountain and not a group running together. And so you guys run for surprisingly more time than you had expected. Are you guys so Gibble and Grist, are you guys running like shoulder to shoulder, or how are you guys doing that?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep right on pace with Gibble in order to, kind of give him a little confidence that I'm here with him.
Cool. So you guys, so you're shortening your strides because obviously there's quite the difference, right?
Right.
Okay.
Fast legs, though. He's got
Right.
fast legs.
He does have fast legs. You're surprised just how fast those little legs are moving. Okay, I'd like you both to roll for perception, please, as you come close to the trench. Oh boy.
What'd you
I
get?
rolled a 1. I rolled a 1.
Oh no!
I rolled a 1.
Wow. So,
You rolled a 1?
We screwed up.
Okay, this wasn't a dexterity feat roll because if it was, you guys would be rolling down the side of the hill right now. Just saying. Your equipment flying everywhere. So you guys are approaching the trench, and you guys are like, "Oh my god, this is." Thinking to yourselves as you're running, "This is phenomenal. We're almost there. We're almost there. This is amazing." All right, and you guys reach it, and the sort of the very edge, and so it's odd. It's like this sort of slow grade, almost like as if like the giants that Make was talking about eons ago had taken like a hoe and like carved out this V-shaped trench within the side of the mountain, And in the middle of these, in the middle of the trench, you've got all these sort of stones and like adjustments and rocks from the mountain itself coming out of the ground. But it provides perfect cover for you guys like slide down into this sort of like rock face in front of you, which is like literally perfect. You're covered. You've got this slope from here where you just ran from. You got this like stone wall from in front of you, and it's absolutely perfect. And you guys are like, whew, awesome, great stopping point. All right, so we've got then Make and Draymond. Would you please both? Well,
Me, can
Draymond.
you please roll for perception?
Me, you pay attention and roll. God. Draymond, can you roll perception, please?
Yes. Ouch. 11.
8. All right. So we're looking at each other. We're running, and we're like, "This is going well. Wyvern's over there, and we're not drawing its attention. This is going good." And we come into the trench, and then we come down the side, and then we see Grist and Gibble just sort of sitting there, and like they're panting, like obviously like great, but they're like, "All right, we made it to the halfway point. This is phenomenal. This is great." All right, and Datari, you're bringing up the rear, and you see now you've seen the rest of your party sort of crest over this little rise in the mountainside and like just drop into the trench area. And you're coming up to a close. Can you please roll perception, please?
Sure. And that is 19.
Okay, so you're running, and you're coming close to the trench, and you see maybe 25, 30 feet to where you saw your fellow group members like sort of shuffling down into the trench. A very, very thin wisp, the fire, like sort of coming in
Wow.
from inside these stones. And you, at this point, you see, oh, that's probably not good, because that's not naturally occurring. It's in a bunch of stone area,
Mhm.
and yeah. So you see this, and you are now cresting into the side of the mountain, and you slide down, and everyone looks at you and like, yes, we did it. We made it. Yes.
Guys, we need to get out of here now.
Well, why? We're safe here.
We are not safe here.
What do you
There's a
mean?
wyvern right around the corner. You didn't see that little tiny flame going by?
No.
No.
We need to go.
Okay, I'd like you all now to roll one more perception, please.
Not gonna use that.
Aha.
I
Much
only
better
got a
this time.
9 this time.
Natty
Okay,
20.
Second here. Who got?
Oh.
Wow, someone got a natty 20.
That's a quick turnaround.
I did
Nice.
work.
All right, just give me a second here. Let me get. All right, so how did everybody else do? What did you guys get?
18.
Got an 8.
18. Okay,
9.
9. What did you get, Draymond?
An 8.
8. All right. So you guys see Datari like slide down the trench, and you guys are like, "Yes, we made it!" And she drops this. We gotta leave. It's like, WTF, man? We just got here. And Grist, you sense towards the backside, and Datari, you see as you come down and you say that, you see that Grist looks literally in the direction of this little sort of flame wisp of smoke. He looks up, and you see on top of this rise, you see a half orc with a great axe saying, "It's no wyvern, little boy."
ROUS's.
Or what?
Visual size.
Datari's kind of checking him out, though. He's got a thing for orcs.
Oh, okay. Whoops. He's quite attractive because he's half orc, and he's got sort of a mix of quite a few of the traits that you actually find very attractive. And he's got a great axe, which,
Ooh.
let's just say, it's bigger than 6 inches.
I'm gonna go up to the orc, like, with a reasonable distance between us and say, hey.
Well, he's probably about 25 feet away from you, and standing, you're like down in the trench, and he's standing on rocks behind you, 25 feet away. So, yeah, he's quite unattainable at this point in both ways.
Oh, so I can't talk to him?
No.
Okay.
So I would.
I'm still checking him out, though.
All right. Let's roll for initiative, please.
Everybody?
Yep, everybody.
Another natty 20.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
I'm
That makes
last.
sense.
I guarantee you I'm last.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Okay. All right. What'd you get, Draymond?
I got a 20.
Nice.
Is that natty or dirty?
Dirty.
Okay. All right, and okay, these are this. Give me a second here. Managing characters here. All right, what did you get, Gibble?
3. Lowest I can get.
Well, no, but it's quite close to it.
Well, I have a +2, so the lowest I could get.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, the lowest. Well played. Well played. All right. So, Grist, you realize that this half orc who looks extremely threatening and not friendly whatsoever does a little bit of exposition, and you definitely get the upper hand if you want to attack him, because he's just spending time, trying to intimidate you, and you are not intimidated whatsoever.
Okay. And how far away is he?
From you, probably you're a little more settled, maybe 20 feet tops, maybe
Okay.
15 feet. Yeah, 15 to 20 feet, because he's high. He's high up on one of the stone that's behind you guys.
Okay. So I'm going to use a cantrip, Thorn Whip.
Okay.
I think melee. So that would be a 17 to hit.
Okay, that's. Would that be a? That would just be a. That's an attack hit, right? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's a melee.
Yep. So
Basically.
you're good. You're good. Okay. Yep.
And is he large, medium, small?
He's medium.
Medium. Okay.
Yep.
So 5 damage, and I'm actually going to pull him 10 feet closer to me.
Okay. So how much damage? You said 5?
Yeah, 5.
All right. So you set up this thorns, right? You said.
Yeah, thorn whip. Basically, I create a long vine-like whip covered in thorns that lashes out at my command towards a creature in range. It's a melee spell attack against the target. 1d6 piercing damage.
Nice. All right. So, and this thing just envelops him and literally just like brings him forward, almost carries him forward towards you.
Yes.
Nice. All right. So you guys see that happening, and then Draymond, you are up. You see the orc is now enveloped by this vine, and being shuttled towards you, maybe covering maybe 20 feet. 10 feet between you and it. So you're almost within striking distance.
So okay, so I'm pretty close to this orc.
Yeah, you're within less than 10 feet. Yes.
Okay. I am actually going to cast a cantrip that I have called Dancing Light. Or not Dancing Lights, but Magical Sleep. So I am going to try to put him to sleep.
Okay, let me
Wait a
just
minute, that's not a cantrip. That's a...
Is that a spell?
It's not a spell. It's just a... it's like it's something that dark elves can do. It's just an ability.
Okay, so they get their nature. So what are the what's the DC for it? Like, what's the defensive roll for it against it?
I'm actually looking here at because
Okay,
it
cool,
was my
cool.
turn. It is okay. I found it.
Nice.
Creatures within 20 feet. It doesn't have a DC. It just says roll 5d8. The total is how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect. Creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose within range are infected in ascending order of their current hit points. Starting
Wouldn't
with
that put all of us to sleep then?
Yes. Yep.
No.
Let me see.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to do that one. I was thinking it was like 90 feet in a direction.
Yeah. No, that would be an area effect that would affect everybody.
All right, I guess I'll just use
Fine.
my...
With your fireball in the town square.
Yeah. No, I'll just
There's fireball in the barrel.
I'll just use my short bow.
All right, you got that. That's good. That's good.
Make it quick and easy. All right, so short bow, and that would be a 26.
Jesus. Yeah, that hits. Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay. And that is going to do... Oh, that sucked. 7 points of piercing damage.
Oh, that's for him. That's substantial. So, and as he's writhing in this vine with these spikes that are just like driven into his skin, Draymond launches an arrow and hits him squarely in the upper chest, and it looks like it really does a number on it. And as that happens, over the rocks, you see 4 other characters join into the fray. So I'm just going to intersperse their initiative rolls with what you guys have already done. Give me a second here. Okay, so we've got... And I said 4, right? Because there's 4 other characters here coming in. Okay. Wow. Okay. Just give me a second. Lots of people here. Well, Gibble, you didn't roll the worst roll.
Yay!
Just saying.
Yay, Gibble!
Okay.
Okay. We got number 2. Oh my god. All right, so it's going to be next up is going to be Datari. You're coming up, so just prepare a plan of attack because you're next.
Okay.
While I write this down here. right. All right. So, Datari, you are up. So you see this half orc. He's not looking good at all within the grip of this vine. And as you see coming over the same area that you saw the smoke coming from, coming over these stone outjusts coming, you see 4 other characters. You see from what you can tell, you see a human. You see 2 gnomes that look very similar to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You see a half elf as well, cresting over the stones.
Okay.
And you have initiative over all of them. So what do you do?
I'm actually going to. Is the orc close to me?
The half orc,
Yeah.
yes, is closer to you than any of the other characters. Yes.
And how far away? Like, is he within touching?
No, because you just came in there. So he's maybe 10 feet, 8 feet, somewhere in there.
Okay.
You could probably use your sprint and just like do a touch of some sort. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to saunter over to the half orc and say, whoa, 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 whoa. Guys, we don't even know why they're here. And he obviously has friends on his quest. And
You're
so
sauntering over to this thing?
yeah,
Okay.
to
All right.
the half orc. Because he's already contained in a thorn whip and I'm going to say
He's not like tied up or anything. He's just
I thought he was all tied up in a thorn whip.
basically I grab a hold of him and yank him towards me. And like
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, I get my whip back.
So he's got like a thorn whip around him, doesn't he?
Sounds kind of hot, doesn't it?
Fine, he's got a thorn whip on him if that makes
Okay.
it
All
hotter.
right. And I'm just going to do this to his hair and say, I'm so sorry for my friends. What is the reason for you being here anyway? Just want to ask you real quick.
So this is your attack. This is your entire.
Well, I wanted to talk to him before I do anything to him. Like, is talking my attack?
Well, you're doing quite a bit there, and
You're onto
yeah,
Action,
You're
I'd
talking.
say.
Concert.
and he would reply to you, making sure you're the fodder for the wyvern and not us, lady.
Okay. I'm gonna quick shout back at the guys, like, at the end of my. This is the end.
Okay,
of my
I'll give it to you. Yeah, because you have no defense. Oh, sorry, no attack per se. You're doing this little interaction to try and gain
Yeah.
some information from him, and
Yeah.
so I'll allow it. What do you want to say to the rest of the party?
I'm gonna say to them, hey guys, maybe these guys can actually help us beat that wyvern up there. We're both trying to do the same thing. Instead of like beating the crap out of him before you know anything about him. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. So, okay, Gris, can you explain to me so you said that this vine sort of envelops him and pulls him forward, and what, drops him closer to the group so that you can be more melee based?
Yeah, basically, it's basically a way of flashing out, getting a little bit of damage, and yanking him closer
Okay.
to him, so it doesn't entrap him or.
Okay,
snare him.
all right. So, given that Datari is right in front of him, Dewey, our half-orc friend, is going to take his great axe and try and carve you a new mouth.
Oh, damn it.
Doesn't look friend shaped to me.
So he, in his quite unhealthy state, he can barely lift his axe, and he bends back and tries to slice you, and you see it coming, almost like, you know, the Matrix. It's like, oh, that looks funny, just over here. You dodge that, and his great axe, although quite impressive and quite attractive, lands into the ground, and he misses you entirely. All right, up next we have okay, so we've got one of the gnomes who's coming over. I'm going to roll a bunch of views. That's one. Okay, that's going to be Steve. Steve, he comes over and launches a short bow arrow at you.
Okay.
What's your armor class?
16.
16. Wow. So you see one of these like little gnomes that, like I said, look identical to each other, is doing quite the acrobatic and impressive, and you actually pick up on it in the sense that, that looks like a move that you would have done.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lands, and then one of the stones slips, and as he's knocking his bow, he loses his balance, and this thing just flies way off. I mean, way off. Back towards Windsor's teeth, in fact. It's so bad. So he completely flubs that shot. And then next we have Make, who is going to go for the half-orc that is closest to him. Oh, 14. Oh, he gets the hit on half-orc. And Make is going to hit it with his quarterstaff. 1d6. And 1. That's... Oh, +1. 6 + 1. All right, so you see Make take out his quarterstaff and slaps the half-orc, and he stumbles to the ground. He's not dead, but he is not moving, and you get the sense that he's not going to be able to do anything unless someone helps him. He is at 0 and on his death rolls. Next up, we've got... Ooh, Koila. Female. Koila. And not to be confused with Kayla. Was it Kayla from Schitt's Creek? No. What was her name from?
I don't know, but I was thinking more like coitus.
Yeah, well, not quite fucked yet, but we'll see. All right, so he comes into the fray, and she is going to attack. That is going to go to Grist. And Grist, she's going to launch magic missiles at you.
Oh, no.
Give me a second here. Just need to read this. Magic missile. I think it's a melee. I don't have time to research all these spells. Magic missile. One second here. Okay. Level. Yeah, so she roll. Okay, so it's got just a melee attack. Okay, so. Oh, 5. So she does an incantation towards you and does all these little finger moves and like launches and just flies right by you. Nothing at all. Hits the side of the ground behind you. So that was a wasted opportunity for her. So there we go. And Gibble, you are up.
Where is everybody else in relation to Gibble?
Okay, so Gibble, you are right up against the stone. You're right beside Grist. You've got the half-orc who looks completely done and fried. You've got 4 other characters who just crest over the stone in various sort of levels of sliding down. They are probably from you, maybe 15 to 20 feet away, coming into your sort of area that you guys are all in.
Okay. Gibble will try to take out one of his javelins and just throw it at one of them.
So you've got 5 technically. You've got the half orc who looks dead. You've got 2 gnomes who look quite similar to each other. You've got what looks like a human fighter, and you've got a female sorcerer from what you can make because she just launched magic missile at Grist and
I will try to hit her.
Okay.
That is going to be a 15.
That is a hit.
Nice.
Alright.
That's a javelin, you said?
Yes, with the javelin.
Okay.
For a total of 8 damage. Yeah.
So,
Piercing damage.
piercing? Okay, that's fine. Let's check something here. No. Okay, so okay. So let's play this out. So Grist, you see this female launch these magic missiles at you, and they fly by you, not very close, launch into the back part of it, and like this dust of cloud from the sand side that you guys had slid down. And then Gibble takes out his javelin from his back, launches it square in the heart. Boom! He falls down. 0. She is down 100%. 1 hit. She is on her deathbed.
Got your back, buddy.
Nice.
Aw.
Coitus is down. Oh, how I have heard that story before.
Talk about redundant.
All right, give me a second
Coitus
here.
is going down. Yes.
Give me a second here. So we've got Coitus down.
This is the worst rival adventure club to ever come up against.
It's like Shaun of the Dead. It's like all of you except in the bad version. So then we've got so the second gnome looks and sees Koila drop and do a. Okay, he doesn't. So, all right. So he is going to. He's going for Datari.
Uh-oh.
He is going to launch a. He's got a short bow. He's going to launch an arrow at you.
Ouch.
13. What's your AC?
Oh. My AC is 14. Yay!
Oh, he's got +5 to hit. So you're good. You're going to take damage. All right. And you take lowest 4 damage from this arrow from him.
Okay.
And finally, the last player on the field, the one who looks most prepared yet rolled worse than Gibble. He goes for Grist, actually, because he sees him as the one who just took down the most damage on his best fighter.
That's valid.
Although, Gibble just took him down. It was Grist who took him out to bring him closer to. All right.
It's one of the pros of people not viewing goblins as much, you see. Because, always making them as lessers.
They're going for the taller people.
Right, exactly.
That's a great point. All right. He is going to. Yeah, he can't. Okay. So you see what this one guy does, who looks like I said, Grist. You see this guy coming down, and he looks. He's got chainmail first of all, and he looks like he's a embattled veteran, and he's got multiple weapons in his hand. He's sliding down the side, and as he gets down sort of the plane, he sprints towards you, and then he goes with his scimitar in one of his hands. You see, well, first of all, he's got two weapons. He's got a short crossbow in one hand. He's got a scimitar in the other.
Okay.
But he's only got one attack now because he used one of his attacks to get close to you. And 17 plus 5.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So he lands a hit with the scimitar on you. Ooh. 9 damage.
Oof. Okay.
And we now are back to the top of the order. And Grist, it's actually your attack. Like, this guy's right in front of you.
Right. All right. We're going to cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Oh, I didn't ban that from this game?
Nope. Nope. As my bonus attack.
That's so
And,
funny.
Go away. Okay, so then I am going to take a shot at him with my short sword since he's right here.
Yes.
So, hold on a second. Proficiency. Let's see, attack roll. Okay, so 2. That would be an 18 to hit.
Dang. You hit him. Nice. You hit him.
D6 plus 1 plus a D6. Right. That's 6 damage. Come on. Boxcars.
At least the battle will last longer than 2 minutes, that's the thing.
Right. Might be pretty short for me.
Oh, that's true. All right, so Draymond, you see a couple of players on the ground. You see the half-orc on the ground. You see this magic user that launched some magic missiles also on the ground. And you see someone engaging with Grist, and he looks like he's ready for battle. And the other two that are still there are these two gnomes that haven't been hit yet, and they're just sort of mulling about, trying to get an angle, that kind of thing. You have 3 targets left.
Okay, so who am I closest to?
You are closest to, aside from the 2 on the ground, you are closest to one of the gnomes.
Okay. Just one of them. All right.
Yeah, you're like, and we're talking like maybe 2.5 feet away from the other one, because they sort of all came down together, and because their movement speed is the same, and you like, as you're looking, they're like identical twins. They're literal twins, so they're almost
am I
matching.
close enough to both of them to use melee?
Yeah, you have a choice of either one. Yes.
Well,
yes.
I have 2-weapon fighting if I'm using melee, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you. So you got 2 attacks? Yes, absolutely. You can do 2 attacks on each of them.
So I've got a rapier, and a dagger. So with the rapier, I'm going to get a 22.
Jeez, Murphy. Jesus. What are these
Mm.
bonuses? Yeah, that's a hit.
Yeah, my bonus is a 7.
Dear Lord.
And the damage, I only do 6 points of damage on that one.
Only.
Only. Yeah. They're not saying it. Trim and Hub, they're not saying that. Yeah, okay. 6 damage on one. All right.
And with the dagger, I'm going for the other one, and I got a 25.
Okay.
And that's gonna do 7 points of damage.
7. Okay. So you guys see Draymond sort of coming into it and focusing on these 2 little gnomes who, kind of cute, but don't look very friendly. And he just like literally rams them both with his 2 weapons and pulls them out. And they are like taken aback, first of all, and they do not look good. And those were 2 massive blows.
Nice.
Right.
Dang. Okay. Next up, we have the Tari.
Okay. Is the half orc still alive?
No, he's about to roll his first death roll. He's
Okay.
unconscious. I mean, you can play with his hair if you want.
I'm going to reach out and I'm going to like just do that to him. I'm like,
Are you gonna loot him too?
Not yet. Such a shame, all the good looking ones are always assholes. And I'm going to go over to Make and I'm going to use Cure Wounds on him.
Oh, dang.
Because I know Make is, on his death rolls. So that is 5 plus 3. You have 8 points now, Make.
Dang.
Yeah.
That brings me back up to full health. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So now I think it's Grist, right? Who's the next most damage at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at 9.
All right.
I'm at 8.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Lay your hands on me.
Lay your hands on me.
All right. So let's see what the half orc does. Dewey. Ooh. 1 of 3 strikes is gone. He's not looking good.
So nice.
Uh-oh.
All right. Next up is Draymond, one of the ones you just pierced, is going to take his short sword and return the favor, as it were.
Oh, I was hoping he'd just kill himself. Goodbye, whole world.
He's got 16. Is that good for your? That's a hit.
My armor class is a 16.
All right, that's a hit. 6 plus 3. Jesus. 4 damage. 4 damage on you.
4. Wow.
Gnomes are little guys, right?
Don't sound too confident. My God.
If Draymond's like a 6-foot elf, and I mean gnomes are, it's like hitting Draymond in the knees, right?
With a toothpick. All right. Next up is Make. He is going to attack the guy that just took down Grist over there. Crap. So he takes his No, why would he do that? No, he's not gonna. No. Okay, so he's gonna use a spell here because I forgot about his spells. He is going to cast Poison Spray at him, and I think 13. Just so he's going for him. +2. Ooh! All right. So, Make, seeing the most sort of heavy-duty guy attacking Grist, he opens his palms and he spreads this poison gas into his face, and he fails. Then he is going to take 1d12 damage. Woo!
Oh.
It's tough.
No favoritism here at all.
No.
Clearly not, because I just rolled a 2. Jeez.
2 damage.
Wow, 2 attacks and 6 big old damage. Wow, we're taking this guy down. Woo! All right.
Wow, Mink.
Pepper sprayed him. It was like sweet bell peppers. Slightly annoying.
Okay, so Koila, she's going to do her first death roll. Oh, Koila is back up and running, so she's got 1 hit point. And so you see, all of you see that the female sort of like rouses from her. She's at 1 hit point. She's nowhere near good. It's not like she's about to join the fray, but she's not dead.
Mhm.
That's her roll. All right, Gibble, you are up. You are within striking distance of everybody.
Like even with like a melee is what you're saying, right?
Yes.
So
Everyone's all within range. So you've got the 2 gnomes, you've got the fighter, you've got the magic user, the female that you saw just sort of rouse herself, and you've got the heavy hitter that seems to be right near Grist and Make.
I guess I'll go right after the heavy hitter.
Okay.
Causing problems.
Yep.
Try to put him down.
Mhm.
You know, take
Get
out my
him
big
down.
old great axe and just try to swing it over. You know, keep in mind that this great axe is almost as big as Gibble is.
You call it a great axe, we call it a hand axe, but that's fine.
I call it your snuggle buddy.
Snuggle buddy.
I thought that was his steak snuggie.
Well, that's a 6 I rolled on that one.
Oh, 6. Yeah, that's going to that's not going to help anybody at all.
Yeah. I just run up and completely miss again. It's like, come on, not miss again.
So you see Gibble jump into right in front of the fray with Grist, Make, and the leader guy, and he takes this big swing, and unfortunately he just sort of loses a bit of a grip, and it misses him, unfortunately. And next up we've got the other gnome, and he is going to go for Draymond again. So he's going to have a thing for you, apparently.
The other knee.
Careful for your ankles. And he's going to take his short sword because he's within range. And let's see what he rolls. 12. No, you got okay. So he lunges at you, and you dodge that attack. And finally, before we start the round over again, the main guy goes after. So we've got Grist, we've got Make in the front, and we've got Gibble. So I'm going to go for. All right, he's going for Make. Right, he's going to take his 2 attacks. He's going to take Scimitar and go for him. So the main guy, whose name is Oyhen, by the way, he swings, misses with his scimitar. Ooh, and he lands with his hand crossbow for a 1d6 plus 3.
Are you dead again?
No, but everything you just gave Make back. Bye-bye.
Ah! So he's unconscious again.
No, he's not. No, he's not unconscious at all. But
Oh.
yeah, he just got halved. So
Oh.
yeah, so all right, we are back at the top of the round, and we've got Grist. So you see him slash at Make, miss with the scimitar, and then basically just like sort of like uppercut with his hand crossbow, and launch his bolt right into his shoulder, and Make is pushed back for sure. But it is your attack.
So we have the 2 gnomes.
2 gnomes, a very sort of groggy, not able to attack right now, female sorcerer, and you've got the guy in front of you.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna take another shot with the short sword.
Okay.
At oh boy. It's a 16 hit.
That is a hit.
All right. And that would be 7 damage.
Nice. All right. What was that with? With a
That was a short sword.
Short
and,
sword? Okay.
Hunter's mark.
nice. All right, so you land a nice blow on him for sure. And Draymond, you're up next. Datara, you're up. You're on deck.
Good. Right. So are those two still close to me? Or have they
The two
run away?
gnomes.
All right.
Yep.
Same thing as last round.
Okay.
Rapier does 13 on the attack.
That is a miss.
Okay. And the dagger will be an 8.
Both misses.
Wow.
Yep.
Bummer.
13 was just a miss. But yeah. All right. We've got up next we have your boyfriend here. Half orc. Let's take a look how he does. No, actually, sorry. I'm sorry. It's Atari. It's your attack. What am I saying?
Yay! Alrighty. Is there anybody next to me that I can touch?
Wow, that was creepy.
Actually, it's okay. I don't have to necessarily touch them, but I will use it's a cantrip called Chill Touch. Okay.
Okay.
I will roll to see if it works. Oh, I got a natty 1, so I guess I won't be performing that this time.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Everyone-
That would have been one of the two gnomes because they're sort of closer to you. Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been so cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would have been. Yeah.
Would have been. All right.
All right. So now it's pretty boy Dewey. Ooh, he's back. He is good. He's I got 1 hit point. So he's roused and sort of not dying, but he's in need of medical attention for sure.
Okay.
All right, so now we go to one of the gnomes who are quite pissed off at Draymond. So we're going to go for him since he's so interested.
I have a really funny picture
Ooh.
in my head. Little
18.
tiny guy on
Ooh.
Steve.
18 on Draymond. That's a hit, I assume. Okay, he's going to take his short sword and drive into you with 8 damage.
Oh.
And it is now Make's turn again. And he is going to... Oh, sorry. That was my Mike mistake. Mike steak, some would say. These damn druids and their tree-hugging spells.
Just what we need, another Drowish princess.
Hey, it looked Jewish.
Wrinkles.
Where's my Schwartz when I need it? Okay, so he's going to cast Shillelagh.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's going to create a wooden club. And he's going to attack it with the strength. Okay. And hopefully it's good. Defensive strength. +4. Jesus. Okay. Ooh! He lands his shillelagh. Sorry, that came out way wrong.
What's he doing with that shillelagh?
Look at my shillelagh.
It's somewhat club-like.
It's not as big as that half orc over there.
Nowhere near the kind of hair. Okay, so then he slams that on him, and 1d8 + 3 on the main guy again. He's going for 4 damage. Jesus. All right. Well, he's coming down. All right. So next up, we've got Koila. She is she's on 1 hit point. Does she have any healing? Let's see. Wait a second here. What she does. So what Koila is going to do, she's going to actually try and retreat. She's trying to like crawl out of this area. She's not doing good. She's going to take her turn and try and get the hell out of here, out of dodge. So she is slowly leaving the plane. Then we have Gibble. You're up. So what you see now is the two gnomes. You've got the sorceress who is sort of slowly crawling away. You've got a half orc
going after.
Oh,
Notices her going away. Gonna try to throw another javelin at her. Just gonna
nice. All right.
15 again on her.
And she's got a -2. Yeah, so you definitely got an advantage. So that's a hit. Wow.
Hold on. 6 damage.
And you end her life entirely. Nice. Yeah.
Wow. Don't underestimate the goblin.
No.
Exactly.
Fortune and glory.
So one of the gnomes noticed that you just took out her, and he is not happy with that, and he launches at you with a short sword. He is going to roll. That is a 16? No, wait. 16 with his modifiers. What's your armor class?
One away from hitting me. I'm at 17.
Oh, nice. So he launches at you and slices just by you. Nice. And then finally, we come back to the heavy hitter, and it's going to be a 50-50 split between Make and Grist. Low is Make, high is Grist. And Make is going to take it again.
Poor Mink.
Poor me. Poor me.
He's the one with the lower hit points. Although I'm not doing so well myself over here. Okay, he's going to take his 2 attacks. He's going to take his scimitar.
Fuck, I don't feel so well.
Spider Make. Ooh, 6. So he misses with his short sword. Again. Oh, 2 misses. And his hand crossbow.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. Misses completely. And we are back at the top. And we have Grist. You see sort of an overextension by the main guy going for Make. And you have a perfect opportunity to hit him here.
Yep. I forgot as I'm looking through here that I have 2-weapon fighting. So, carrying 2 short swords, I've been forgetting that I have another shot. So,
okay.
Gonna go with the short sword.
Okay.
That is a 13.
13. That's not going to hit.
Yeah. Okay, so the second shot is 22 to hit.
That is a hit.
And then it's just a d6 without the modifier. 6.
And that's with your hunter's mark?
The hunter's mark is only on the first swipe.
Gotcha.
And the two-handed or two-weapon fighting is without the modifier for
Okay.
second
So
swipe.
it's total 6 then.
Yeah, total is 6 damage.
Cool. All right. So now next we have Draymond. You are up.
Alrighty. Try with the rapier first again.
Okay.
If
And
I
you're
get
going
it-
for who again? Who are you going for?
the gnome that was next to me.
Mhm.
And that
Just kidding.
attack roll was a 27.
Oh my. Yeah, that's
And
yeah.
that does 11.
Oh, okay. You just eliminated the first of the two twins. Dead.
Sweet.
Like dead.
They're dead. Dead.
Yes.
I like dead.
Double.
Okay. And let's see what happens with the dagger then.
Oops, sorry.
Gonna be a 17.
That is a hit.
And that will do 6 points of damage.
Wow. Okay. You take them both out with 2 attacks.
Nice.
Fantastic. They are both dead and gone. Dang. Well done.
Wow.
I was picturing
Nice.
these gnomes doing like flips and backflips every time he'd miss over and under the sword.
So like Yoda thing.
The captain
Finally
get
catches
both
them.
of them.
All right. You just give me 1 second here. Sorry. I gotta. Unfortunately, just give me a second here.
Not a problem. Doing it live. How about those Yankees?
Ooh.
I don't know. I could sing a little song.
A little dance.
But like to hear it? Here it goes.
Thank you very much.
Anybody know any good jokes?
I'd be a terrible
I mean,
singer.
I do, but probably not what we want to
Yeah.
say here
Yeah,
on
that's a red
a
flag,
live
yeah.
stream.
Oh, yeah, your jokes are pretty good like that. So, who's all out there right now in the chat? Anybody in the chat? Anybody still in the chat? You know, Alan had to leave. Ubaldo, you still there? Isaac? I guess not. And
All right,
we've
sorry about that.
lost somebody. No problem.
My son is now gone camping. So.
Aw. Bye, son.
He's gone for like a day and a half, which is yay, but also bye. All right. So that was fantastic. So Draymond with 2 blows. That was fantastic. So now we've got up next
Me.
is Datari.
Yay.
So yeah, you've got Slim Pickens. You've got your hunk who's sort of reviving himself and looking somewhat alive. And you've got the main guy. The rest of them are either dead or hobbled.
Okay, I'm gonna go back over to my half-orc hunk, and I'm gonna say I'm going to use a cantrip again. This time it's gonna be Vicious Mockery, and you're going to have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. It's going to be... Oh, dear Lord. Oh, he makes. Jeez. He
What
made
is it?
wisdom saving throw. Surprisingly,
No.
sorry.
Ooh.
He's got a +1 on wisdom, and that's what sealed the deal.
I kind of figured orcs didn't have that much wisdom. All right. So
Well, don't forget he's half orc, so it's a little bit of a different role in that one.
it's true. He needed to make 13.
He made 13.
Okay.
Literally, he's got +1 and it's 13.
I'm gonna say I'm not done with you yet, sweetie.
Atari, stop talking to the enemy.
Well, he's so hot.
Did you look at him?
Punch him in the face or something. He only had 1 hit point. How'd you mess that up?
So, Dewey, he's sort of like he's coming to, and he's looking really bad, and he's seeing you, and he's like, "Help me! Please help me!" And that's his attack. And oh well, the next 2 are dead thanks to Draymond. It's easy. Nice. All right, Make is up, and he is going to, since his spells don't really suit the current need for healing or investigation, he's going to use his actual weapon. And he's going to use his quarterstaff. Yeah. Okay. 6. Dang it. So he misses the leader. And that's his only attack. Okay, so then we go to Gibble. You're up. So you've got an interesting field in front of you. You've got this half-orc who seems to be trying to either flirt or request help from Datari. Either way, they seem very connected, these 2 star-crossed lovers. And you've got the main dude who is between Make and Grist, sort of maybe 10 feet away from you, like definitely within a move and a strike. And he's not the main guy's not looking good, but neither are Make or Grist, for that matter. Just to say.
All right. Well, I guess Gibble will run up with his great axe and try to hit him again with the great axe.
Nice.
Which
All right.
we'll see how this goes. Take 2 on this.
Okay.
And do it.
Aha! 23.
Dang!
Ooh.
Boom! You hit him. You hit him.
And this is going to be 10 damage.
Ooh! And Gibble lands the death blow on the main guy, taking him
Wow.
down.
Gibble.
Boom!
With his head.
Off with his head. Well, off with his ankles.
Tis but a flesh wound.
And with that, you guys have taken out all of the bandits that were in this area, except for the half-orc, who is basically at death's door and looking for something, anything. And as Gibble just blasts through Make and Grist and just like launches and carves this leader a new face hole, and you guys jump. So he lands, and you guys are like, "Wow, that was crazy!" And you look back and you see Datari, sort of hovering over this half orc who looks, a stone's throw from his grave, and she's just sort of looking at him longingly, and you're all sort of questioning why.
So, Datari, you got a boyfriend there?
I look what you guys did to him. He could have helped us get that dragon.
I think they were very clearly after us.
I'm going to kneel down next to him. Can I talk to him now?
Yeah, you can actually. Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to say, Tell me what you were really doing out here.
We're trying to stay alive. The wyverns attacked. And this was our camp and our safety. We were forced out of the forest by the orc horde. This was our only place to stay.
I'm going to look back at Grist and Make and Gibble and Draymond and say, can we keep him, please? Please, can we keep him?
Okay, let me just roll this here for a second.
Wow. So he takes another breath and
Please keep me.
Please keep me. Can we keep him, please?
I'll go over and I'll cast Cure Wounds on him.
Aw, that's nice. That's nice, Grist.
okay, so you're gonna. All right.
I would like to loot the bodies of the two I killed.
It'll give.
Oh yeah, I do
him,
want to get back to my
6
javelins. I
points.
want to say that.
Okay, you got those. And actually, you know what? You find an extra javelin because one of them was carrying a javelin, by the way.
Sweet.
Okay, so you cast. What do you? What does that give? What does it give him back? Can you roll that, please?
Cure Wounds, yeah, it was. He gets. Well, I rolled 6. He gets 6 health.
6 health points. Okay.
I would like to loot the sorceress.
Okay.
First, you better feed and water your half orc.
Did you say feed and water your half orc?
You want to keep them? You take care. Of
I will, but
He shoves a miracle girl in his mouth. Okay, so he looks at Grist and says,
My name is Dewey. I come from the lower valley, and I was with Sir Oyan to stay alive, and we tried and did bad things, but it was out of desperation, and this was my only way of living. I was outcast from my clan because I was not considered a full orc, and they were the first to accept me for who I was and my skill. But now you are the second, and I appreciate your help.
Well, us half-breeds have enough problems in this world, and I can understand why you did what you did, but it didn't work out well for your friends.
No, it didn't. You and your band are very skilled and work well together. I would be honored to help and join you. Whatever you are doing, I need to avoid the wyverns, and I'm trying to avoid the orcs in the forest.
and he points to the forest that you guys are heading towards.
Oh,
Do you think you would be able to help navigate our path around the orcs?
They move. They're nomadic. Now, even more so with the attacks of the wyverns, but I do know of several areas where they camp, and perhaps I can do my best to help us navigate that. But what is your mission? Where are you going? I mean, you are just traveling? Are you escaping? What are you all doing?
I'm going to look over at Make because I don't feel like talking just yet. Not about the quest. I don't know if it's appropriate yet. So looking at Make to see what he thinks.
So Make looks over at all of you and says, and to the half-orc and says, "What you have done here, Grist, is very commendable. You've taken someone who's trying to repent from what he's done in the past and made himself a better future. That is something to be withheld and perhaps lifted. And if your name is..." And so he looks back and says, my name is Dewey. And I have no clan, no more affiliation, and not with these anymore. And Make says, "Well, we're on a quest to save the kingdom from these wyvern attacks. And we could certainly use the help along the way, for we are heading to Tar Island." And Dewey sort of looks back and says, "Tar Island? You are heading to Tar Island?" And Meg says, "Yes, that is where we must retrieve a ancient gem to help rid the land of this scourge that has suddenly happened and appeared." And Dewey says, "Are you talking about the wyvern's tear?" Make sort of stands back and looks at the rest of you. And that's where we're going to end Chapter 3 of The Curse. The Cursed Queen of the Iron Bridge. Tune in next week for Chapter 4, where we are going to continue the story and find out exactly why this half-orc from nowhere seems to know about the wyvern's tear. Thank you to all of our players tonight. Thank you to everyone in the comments and watching tonight. We hope you enjoyed, and follow us on our social media for all the announcements for the upcoming streams and the upcoming players. Thank you once again, and don't forget to follow the Red 5 Tavern. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.